Hey everyone, Dave with the Spillproof podcast. Just want to let you know we are still going to be posting our podcast episodes up on our YouTube channel, but we're going to be doing it a little bit differently. Instead of putting the full episode on there, what we're going to do is put small snippets of it, maybe some of the highlights, things like that. And then if you like what you heard, you can check us out where our podcast can be found. So right now, our podcast can be found at Apple Podcasts, Spotify, Google Podcasts, Amazon Music, iHeartRadio, and Pandora. So if you like what you heard, check us out, Spillproof Podcast. You can write to us at spillproofpodcast@gmail.com. We love to hear your feedback or throw some stuff in the comments. Thanks, and thanks for listening.
Yeah, you know, it's funny you say that because I actually was looking at my phone today, just looking at my text messages, and I realized you were like 8 down from the top.
Yeah, I realized that like yesterday too. We haven't sent each other a text in like days.
No, because
we're just with each other.
Well, that and technically speaking, we work at the same company.
We do.
So we can IM each other.
Yeah,
so
we've
we've IM'd each other.
We've been like really trying to limit that, obviously, because
Correct.
we don't want to like go overboard, and Dave is in a new role and he wants to make sure he's
It's not anything distracting.
up and running. No, but like
just like check-ins.
Oh yeah, like, hey, how's it going? Need anything up there?
Yeah.
Or like, how's your work going today? Just quick stuff like that. But we haven't texted each other in days.
No, it's
Just
shocking.
Or called each other because we're just with each other.
Yeah, there's no reason to call you. You're literally downstairs. I could yell to you.
Yeah. It's great. I really like the extra family time that we've had because, you know, our kids eat dinner early. So we typically have like a couple hours before bed now where we're just going on walks or going to get ice cream by the canal or going to visit the grandparents. Or today we hung outside with some neighbors who have kids around Owen's age and a really sweet playground in their backyard play set. So we hung out with them for a while, but it's been nice to just have like that quintessential after work time instead of it being very short and
yeah, it almost felt
rushed,
like
kind of.
Yeah, it almost felt like even though I could see them in the morning for a little bit and then, or drop them off at daycare, and then a little bit when I got home, maybe for an hour, it's almost like I really didn't see them. I saw them when they got up, like an hour after, and then an hour before they went to bed. Every day but Sunday and Wednesday.
Yeah.
And now, because I, work, 7:30 to 4:30 and Monday through Friday, and I'm home.
Yeah.
I feel like I see them more. And I know that's stupid to say because obviously I see them more, but I actually see them more with quality time.
Yeah, it's quality time. It's
rather
not
than
like,
oh my gosh, I got to get in 30 minutes before we start bedtime routine, or oh my gosh, I have to, try to get them up early so I can spend, 30 minutes with them before they get sucked into the TV, or we got to go up to daycare or whatever it might be. So, and obviously, there are some difficulties with work from home with a 2.5-year-old and an 11-month-old. Obviously, you're used to this because you've had it for a while, but I'm just discovering I work best in quiet, so I can focus. And if again, this is a new job, everything's a little bit new. It doesn't just flow. When you've been doing something for 3 or 4 years, I get it. You get in, you go in, you can have music on, you can have distractions, TV, whatever it might be, and you can do it. Right now, it's pretty new. It's been a week. I got to really focus just because I want to make sure I'm doing a good job. And, speed and accuracy is what counts. But he is really loud. And our daughter just yells for no good reason.
Well, she typically is trying. So Owen can just get really loud, and he's hugely into cars. So he's typically screaming about like some make-believe scenario he's made up with his cars, and they inevitably end up crashing. So it's, oh no, watch out.
That's
Guys,
all I hear.
watch out.
That's
Oh, no.
all I hear upstairs through the door.
And
is,
I'm
oh,
used
no.
to it because he's been doing this forever. And I can typically tune it out, or I just put like headphones in and listen to something like for background noise.
Yeah.
But, and it's not all the time, but it's like every once in a while, just all day, he's like playing that cars are crashing or like they're in a race. And so it's, oh, watch out. Oh no, look at these guys. So, and then Emily tries to mimic him, but she can only say a couple words. So she just ends up yelling and going, ah! Ah! So yeah, Dave really got to experience that really for the first time, like the last 2 days, I would say.
Yeah. Yeah, definitely. And it's super distracting. Now, I was in the basement originally where all I could hear was our son stomping.
Stomping around.
He must have flat feet because the way that he, and I have flat feet, so it's possible, but the way he stomps around the house, you would think an adult was walking around in big, heavy boots. Like, you wouldn't think it was a 2.5-year-old stomping around. Like, it sounds like someone seriously is angry.
He does stomp around a lot.
He does. Everywhere he goes, he just... I
know where he is at all times.
Yeah. Yeah, and it just... Ugh.
Although today, when my mom was here, we couldn't find him for like... It was really like 1 minute.
Was he hiding in the curtains?
He wasn't. He was hiding in here, not in the curtains. He had really hid under a blanket, like on the side of the couch. So it took me a second to realize where he was, and I saw a tuft of hair, and I was like, "Oh, that was a good spot, Owen." And then he peeked out, and he was like, "I'm hiding." I was like,
He's actually getting better at hiding, and it's becoming a problem.
Yeah, because normally when he hid, he would kind of just like sit in the middle of the room.
You'd see feet or hands, or
like he would just sit out in the open.
He did.
And if you were like, "Oh, I see you," he'd be like, "No, you don't. I'm hiding."
Yeah,
he's better. Yeah. So sometimes the kids can be loud, and that takes some getting used to. And there are times when, like, I kind of have to. Especially since I'm on the same floor as them and they can see me sometimes, like they'll come over, especially recently, Owen's been like, "Mommy, I need hugs. I need a hug." And it's so cute, but there are times when I'm like, "Buddy, Mommy's working. Like I really need to focus," and I'll have the nanas take them like outside or in a different room or like upstairs in his bedroom to play. Just so that way I'm like out of their line of sight. And typically that works. That's fine. He's just kind of, it's typically when like the nanas aren't giving him something. And so he comes over to try to butter me up and then ask me. But we've seen such an increase in just quality time. Even you and I feel like we've had more time, you and I, to just talk or, we went on our first date night in forever.
We did. That was what, 2 weeks ago?
Was it?
It was more than a week ago.
Okay, yeah, it must have been about 2 weeks ago. But yeah, it was literally our first date night since my birthday in 2020, which was March 8th.
Which we were in Disney.
We were in Disney for, yeah.
Narcoossee's.
So, yeah, but it was...
that was a great dinner, by the way.
That was really good. But we've been trying to make more time, you and I, too, because now I feel like before when you were working longer hours and because you had to commute and it would add that time on, like we were really focused on getting you time with the kids because you really had limited time each day. And so now we can make time, like there's plenty of time for the kids and plenty of time for us to have like our time together too, which has been really nice.
Which obviously that was one of the reasons why we started doing this, but I think a lot of parents would be able to say that, it's a balancing act, and sometimes it can be off balance. The kids, it's easy to say, well, the kids get all the attention because they have to, because if they don't, they're misbehaving, they're screaming. It's pretty obvious, but between us, it's a little less obvious, and sometimes it's hard to put it in perspective because you don't really notice it because all the attention the kids are getting and then all the energy that goes into that. And then all of a sudden, everyone's just tired sitting on the couch and just wants to do nothing, and it's I think it's easy to fall into that rut, so to speak, just because it's the way it naturally would fall if you don't put effort towards it.
Yeah, so I think we've been trying to refocus on our time, our quality time too, which has been really nice.
Yeah, I've enjoyed it.
Mm-hmm.
And again, we're only a week into this, but
yeah, so we're like totally in the honeymoon phase of it.
right. Yeah.
But
at some point we might get on each other's nerves or
yeah, right. But
whatever it might be.
So far, we're loving it.
Mm-hmm.
One of the things I struggle with work from home, but I feel like I've gotten into like it's not a bad routine, but like I don't do my hair and makeup as much, which is like fine.
Yeah, there's nothing wrong with that.
Nothing wrong with that. But I think sometimes I'm like, oh, it would be nice to like get up, do my hair, my makeup. And there are days that I obviously do that. And I'm like, oh, I feel really good today. But it's easy to throw on like leggings or like athletic bottoms and like a flowy top and just kind of like whatever, like throw my hair into like a nice bun on the back of my head so that it looks professional. But like, I think sometimes I do miss like not the like getting up early to get ready, but just like looking nicer. So that's something I still haven't, like when I was obviously pregnant during pandemic and I would just wear my maternity clothes. So there was like a limited number of things I could wear anyways. It was like very plain t-shirts, maternity t-shirts, and like maternity shorts or pants. But now, like, obviously, our daughter's almost 1. Like, I have not been pregnant for almost a year, but I haven't gotten into the like, this is what my like work from home wardrobe is, which I think I need to like figure that out.
I get that 100%.
Yeah.
Today was the first day that I didn't wear my blue polo because I knew we weren't having morning meetings, and I think I switched to shorts like 2 days ago.
Yeah.
Just because nobody sees the bottom anyways, and it's warm. But before that, I was like full polo pants.
My
hair was done.
What do you use that? It's not gelled.
Wax.
Yeah.
Dry wax.
Hair was dry. Yeah.
And just because I wanted to look professional on camera and on the video chats, it wasn't required by any means. I think most of the people I work with either don't even show their camera or they're just in regular clothes. Because they're all work from home as well.
Yeah, and I don't think like not that I don't think, I know like me wearing more relaxed clothes, it doesn't make me like more relaxed when I'm speaking with a client or with like a business partner or my team. Like I don't think I'm acting different because I'm wearing like more relaxed
because
clothes.
You're more comfortable. Or...
Yeah, I actually think it's helped me like not feel so uptight or like nervous about meetings because I am more relaxed and I can.
Because you're more comfortable.
Yeah, I can just focus on the business and not worry about like, wow, these pants are pretty tight when I sit down. This is a poor choice. I have a muffin top right now. Like I'm like, my elastic waistband is like benefiting me really well right now. But I think like for me personally, like not work related at all, just me personally. I'm like, do I even like remember how to get ready?
Thanks for listening to the snippet of this episode. Full episodes can be found on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, Google Podcasts, Amazon Music, iHeartRadio, and Pandora. As always, we love feedback. Throw it in the comments or write to us at spillproofpodcast@gmail.com. Thanks for listening.